guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Horizons 3. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. Today, I have a couple things I want to do. First of all, last episode, we started messing around with Silence Gems and making this Chaos Garnet so we can have the ability to fly, and we wanted to make one of these Chaos runes right here, but we didn't have enough Chaos Essence. So, I want to do that real quick before we get started with the rest of the stuff for today. So we need 8 of these enriched chaos essences. There we go. And then we need 1 block of quartz, which of course it won't let me just do that way. There we go. We need 1 block of quartz. We need a chaos core. And then we need to make the chaos rune. And what this guy will do is recharge chaos stuff. So if we put these together, this now has recharge on it, and you can see it slowly recharges over time. You can have quite a few of these on there. I think flight takes up like 10 slots. You can see it says slots there, 11 out of 20. I believe, yeah, here you go. If you look at flight, it uses 10 slots. But then the recharge only uses 1, and you can have up to 4 of those on there. So, and really, I really only care about the flight. Like, there's a bunch of really cool runes. There's, like, all sorts of crazy stuff. Jump boost, strength, you know, different things like that that's really cool. But flight's really the only one I care about. Anything else I can make, like, a separate rune for. Maybe we'll do, like, a combat rune at some point that would put, like, I don't know, strength, regeneration, and the resistances and stuff on it or something. But either way, we'll probably want to have 4 recharge, and then probably 4 capacity runes as well. And then that'll basically give us flight whenever we want, because we don't need to be up in the air all the time. We can just turn it on when we actually need it. And then when we don't need it, we can turn it back off when we're just wandering around on the ground. So let's put that in our hotbar. Now, what I want to do today is I want to make a mob farm. And there's a couple things that kind of go into this. The first thing we're actually going to need is just a vanilla spawner. And there's a mod in this pack called the Chest Transporter mod. And if you make these diamond chest transporters, these things are essentially like dollies from Java. If for those of you who played modded Minecraft back in 1.7.10, they can pick up chests, and the chests will keep their inventory, which is super useful. But the diamond ones, and higher, diamond and higher, have the added benefit of being able to pick up mob spawners. So if we can find a mob spawner in the wild, so to speak, we can pick it up and bring it with us. And that's going to be incredibly useful. So let's head into the Nether, because we know that we can find a blaze spawner in the Nether fairly easily. At least that's the hope. That's what we're going to hope for. Ooh, please. Okay, there we go. We're good. Let's see. Where was that Nether fortress? I think it's over here. If I enable this, I should be able to fly. Yeah, there it is. I see it. Haha. So you can see this thing works pretty well for creative flight, but the power of it does disappear fairly quickly if you're not careful. So let's just put ourselves down right here. Let's grab one of these diamond chest transporters, come up here, right-click on the mob farm, and now as long as it's in our inventory, we're going to be very slow, but we can throw it in a backpack, and now we're not slow anymore. Ta-da! Works out super well. So let's see if we can find another one. Here we go. I'm going to take you, and I should probably kill these guys, or maybe we'll just run. Maybe we just run away. I think we just run away. That's a better plan. Okay, there we go. So we've got our mob spawners, and that's going to be super important for what we're going to be doing next. Where's my portal? Over here. So I'm going to head back to, actually, ghast. I think I may need a ghast tier at some point, so I'll be taking that. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the main base. I'm going to dig out a little thing, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, guys, I am back. So I dug out a little 7x7 area right over here. And this is where we're going to put our mob spawner. And it's 7x7 for a reason, which I will get into very shortly. I've been smelting up a little bit of plastic. We'll toss that into our refined storage system. And then what we want to make is a mob crusher from Industrial Foregoing. We'll grab this guy. I also need a few. Ooh, I'm actually almost out of those. Let's make a few more. There we go. Hopefully this is enough. I'm not entirely sure that this is gonna be enough. We'll see. I don't, well, it'll be enough conduits. I just don't know if it will be enough power because these are fairly limited in the amount that they can support. But anyway, we're gonna put this guy right here. And this is essentially a device that will kill mobs. And you can click on that to show the area. And you can see it fills a nice 7x7 area. So that works out quite well. I'm also looking at this and realizing that maybe some mistakes were made and I shouldn't have made it that tall because that's outside of the range of the thing. So let's actually grab some dirt and I'm just gonna fill that. Can I make a builder's wand? Is that a thing in this pack? It's totally a thing in this pack. All right. This will make this a million times faster and easier. We'll just take our builder's wand and go boop, and there we go. So now you can kind of see the little pink outline. It keeps like disappearing, but you can kind of see it there. It's a 7x7 area. So then we're gonna take our 2 blaze spawners. I'm gonna break these torches like so. And right here in the middle of the room, I'm going to put these 2 blaze spawners. And then we're going to get out of here as quickly as we can. And you can see it's going to start spawning blazes, and any drops will end up in this mob crusher. Now, the thing is, in most mod packs, there is some sort of a glass or some sort of like transparent block that also prevents light. In this mod pack, I can't find anything that will allow us to see inside the mob farm and also prevent light from passing through. So I'm just going to wall the whole thing off like that and call it good. As much as I think that's boring and not very fun, it'll work. And we're going to start getting blazes spawning in there, which will be instantly killed the moment they spawn by the mob crusher. And so that's going to be good for us. Now, the mob crusher is going to produce a few things. Let's grab these fur slabs here. It is going to produce, of course, the mob drops. So like your cores and your blaze rods and all that kind of stuff. Actually very valuable and very important because we need blaze rods to make more of these biofuel generators. So we're looking forward to having those. But the other thing it's going to make is essence, which you can see right here. And this is a very important thing for us. Now, we have a little bit of an issue, and that is how do we get that out? We don't have Ender IO, right? Ender IO would allow us to take that fluid and move it without any problems because we could just bring all of our fluids and power and stuff like that out through the bottom. But we don't have Ender IO in this pack. So if we're going to run conduits, we need them to each be coming out of different sides of this mob crusher, which also means we're going to have to make use of some of these other sides. And that's going to present an issue because where we don't want to let light in here. That's going to slow down the rate at which this thing works. So, for a solution, how do we want to go about doing this? I suppose what we could do that would not affect the spawn rate much is we could just kind of bounce that one out by 1 block and we could run it out this side. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll put this here. I'm gonna put a fluid storage tank right there and we'll put a fluid duct right here. Oh, that's a flux duct self, not a fluid duct. Try again. Did I not pick up the... Oh, I guess this is also an item. It'll pick up items that land on the ground in there as well. Interesting. Okay, so we're good there. We also need some item ducts, and then I'm going to need some more servos as well. I don't think I can... I can make hardened servos, and these will do A stack size of 16. Yeah, that should be acceptable. And then we can just make a regular servo for the fluids. Okay. And then as far as chests go, let's take one chest. And we've got a whole bunch of iron chests, so let's make it into a golden and then into a diamond chest right off the bat. That'll store a ton of stuff. And we'll put our... What did I do with my fluid ducts? Oh, we're going to get ability tokens out of this. Well, that's lovely. But, seriously, I had fluid ducts like 2 seconds ago. What did I do with them? Ah, I found them. Okay. So anyway, let's take our fluid ducts. We'll put one right here, and I'm going to put a regular servo down, and we'll do that. And that's going to start draining this essence out of here and into this tank. We're going to need that later, because when we get into making our own custom mob spawners rather than using vanilla spawners that we find out and about in the world, we're going to need essence to spawn those mobs in. They're going to spawn basically through power and essence. Then, I'm not sure, back in Mine Factory Reloaded days, you could just put this thing here and it would automatically empty. Ooh. Output. It appears that this does have side configuration. So here's a question. If we do this, can I just get rid of that? Is that a thing? Can I just get rid of the servo? Will it automatically output? I need to play around and see if this is a thing, because if it is, that's super cool, and I'm happy to have found out that I don't actually need all this complicated stuff. Okay. Let's put you there. Oh, interesting. So, can I, like, do this where I can see the menu? Yeah, there we go. I can see it. Okay. So, essence... Okay, so that actually counts as the right. Which means the front is here? I think? I'm very confused. I don't know which side counts as the front, because it's facing that way. If I'm here, output... Tell you what, let's move the chest. Let's put the chest right here. Let's put an item duct like so. And again, this is going to be one of those ones. All right, whatever. We'll just do it this way. So front, still connected. Back, still connected. I mean, that's the output. Energy items, energy. That's all energy-related stuff. Maybe it won't automatically output. That's certainly possible. It also seems like it's not automatically outputting the fluid either. So I think I probably will need to use this stuff. Yeah, there's draining essence, no problem. And we're draining the items as well. So I don't know what these sides are good for then, unless it's to shut off. I guess you still need to use conduits to move stuff. Either way, we got another strength token, or we got a strength token. I'd actually like to have that. That'd be very good for us. And then we've got a bunch of blaze rods now. So this is lovely. This means we can make more of our fuel generators. Let's sleep real quick, since it is that time. Lovely. We'll toss all this stuff back into here, and then we want to go generators. And I want to make more of these biofuel generators, and we should have all the stuff we need to do it. It's basically just, can I make like 2? That should be good. If I make like 2 of these things. There's 1. So just a couple of pistons. And we can make 2. Lovely. All right, so now let's grab ducts like so. And this, ooh, I just thought of something though. This is actually a bad idea because we want all of our power running through this battery over here, or this energy cell. So come to think of it, I actually don't want this over here running this way because that's going to mess things up. We want our power flowing through here. So let's break these. I'm going to break this one as well. We're going to throw down 2 flux ducts like so. Throw down a biofuel generator and a biofuel generator. And then, I mean, that's a lot of wasted biofuel. If I wrench it, it just rotates it. Apparently I can't, like... Okay, I hate to do it. That's such a waste. I hate to do that, but it's necessary, and we'll see why in just a second. So we're going to toss that down right here. And then finally, right here. Ooh, I'm breaking stuff now that I don't want to be breaking. Cobblestone, please. Thank you. There we go. Let's just go 1, 2, 3. And we'll run our conduits like that. So the idea here is that we're going to run a tank to all of the biofuel generators. Right now, our mob crusher is probably out of power, which is why it's not working anymore. This thing is storing water. I don't want to be storing water, but I do want another tank, so I'm just going to make a new one because I don't feel like emptying the old one at the moment. And put the tank here. And then I need to hook this guy up. So we're going to go, preferably before he starts a bunch of fires and burns my house down. I hear fires. That worries me a little bit. Let's run this like so. There we go. Now we are killing things. And I don't hear fires anymore, which is good. Let's just peek inside to be sure. Yeah, I hear no fires. Good, 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 good. We don't want any fires because obviously our house is made of mostly wood here, so that would be bad. Okay, anyway, so then out of this tank, we're going to run some of these fluid conduits, and we're basically going to pull this biofuel out of the tank and put it into the biofuel generators so that they can generate power. So let's grab one more servo. Can I do? Nope, I'm out of that. We'll just use a regular one, I guess. That'll be fine. I think, at least. And if I put that here, change this to ignored, these are all going to start filling up. They'll all start generating power. And this thing should be able to generate power fast enough, or generate biofuel, I should say fast enough that these will ultimately fill up. Because this thing generates biofuel faster than these things go through it. At least I think that's the case. So after enough time passes, as long as there's enough carrots, potatoes, and seeds, we should be able to fill all these up. And then we've got 3 biofuel generators going, each of these producing 160 RF per tick. So we're now generating 480 RF per tick, which is a huge step in the right direction. Okay, so I think that's good. That's a very important step. Anytime you get setting up your first mob farm in any modded world is really important, and it's going to give us a ton of blaze rods and all sorts of other good stuff as well. The big thing, though, is that essence, because we need the essence so that we can get ender pearls, because ender pearls are incredibly important in modded Minecraft. In vanilla, still important, but in modded, you use them to make Enderium, you use them to make all sorts of crazy stuff that's really important, and without ender pearls, we're not going to get very far. So, Let's take a look at industrial reforging here. And there's probably, yeah, here we go, a mob imprisonment tool. It uses plastic and gas tiers. So I'm very glad that I killed that ghast. But we'll make one of these guys. This is essentially like a device, or it's kind of like a soul bottle or a golden lasso or something like that. If we go to a mob and we pick it up, we can like capture it in this thing. So I can come to a cow, and then he's now trapped inside this mob imprisonment tool, and I can right-click to put him back down. But really, I want my cows over here. What we need to do is we need to find an Enderman. And I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to wait until it's night in order to do that. Out of curiosity, and all the time that I've been playing since I set this up, look at that, still have 62 fuel. Dude, this redstone clock to make sure it only uses power when I want, like when it's every couple of minutes, like that was I'm so proud of myself for that idea. Anyway, so we've got a mob imprisonment tool. We need to get an Enderman trapped inside of there, and then we can make one of these mob duplicators. Now, this is also going to be a problem. We actually happen to have the emeralds. I think I've found them lying around in chests and stuff in the world, but we need magma creams as well, and I don't really have a lot of slime balls. I've got 4. Actually, we could totally just do this. Yes, I know I can pulverize this to get more blaze powder. I don't care. Every time I do that, people comment and they're like, it's so inefficient. Pulverize the blaze rod and say, yeah, do you know how many blaze rods we're going to have by the end of this? Like, it doesn't make a difference. So let's make 2 magma creams. And then I think we can actually make this guy right now. Which is kind of surprising to me because I didn't know that we had the emeralds to do that, but I'm not complaining. So we'll make that, and we'll make a mob duplicator. Now, this thing is also pretty interesting. It requires power, and I believe it requires a fair amount of power. I don't know if it says exactly how much per tick, but it's going to need power. And then you'd put your mob imprisonment thing into here. Right now there's no mob in here, so it's not going to work. But you give it power, and then we also need to give it that essence that we're basically creating over here by killing blazes. So by running this blaze farm, we're going to earn the ability or create the ability to get Enderman. And that's what's going to be very important. This isn't Ender IO where we can just hook up an auto spawner and just hook it up to enough power and it'll do its thing. No, we actually need to find Enderman. So I'm going to wait for it to be night, I think. Yeah, it looks like the sun's going down. It'll just be a couple minutes. I'm going to wait for it to be night. I'm going to try to track down an Enderman, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. The good news is I'm back and I found an Enderman. Bad news is there's a lot of other nasty stuff around this Enderman, so we got him. We're good. We're good. Run away. Okay, we can do it. Just dodge and weave, dodge and weave. All right, I think we're okay. Did we make it into our bed before anything gets close enough to mess us up? Ah, we've done it. Look at that. All right, so we got ourselves our Enderman that we're going to need. So now we need to hook this guy up to a system as well that is going to spawn said Enderman. So let's grab the mob duplicator, which I may have referred to at some point as an auto spawner, but that's because it used to be called an auto spawner. How big is the area that this thing spawns stuff in? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it spawns stuff in a 9x9. Okay, we can work with that. So I'm thinking, now the question is, where do we put this thing? And an interesting question it is. Maybe, I don't know. We really need to just, like, get to a new base. This tiny little basement and this little house just isn't really doing it for us anymore now, is it? Tell you what, we have all the necessary stuff we need. Let's get into something a little bit different. There is a mod in this pack called Xtones. It's not called Xtones, or Xtones. It's called Xtones. This is a mod that you may kind of be familiar with, but maybe not. There was a mod called Xtones, or Xtones, back in 1.7.10, and I think in 1.8 as well, that was pretty much amazing. It was like one of the coolest mods ever. However, it has been changed. So now we have these Xtones tiles, and they look pretty good. It's good stuff. But there's a way to create all of these other blocks. So I think if you hold this, and you hold... No? Not left shift plus scroll. Is it control? No. And putting them in a crafting window doesn't do anything. I know that... Oh, I see. So you take the basic tiles, which are made from stone, and then you combine them with something else to make a block of your choice. So, for example, if I wanted to make Agon, we would throw those in, combine them with a slab. So let's just make, I think I made more of those than I wanted to, but that's fine. We do this, and then we have this nice, beautiful, clean block that has lines in it that I have to admit I'm not really a huge fan of. What about this one? That's just regular stone. I'll tell you what, let's make a couple of these tiles. And let's try something like this. And let's just try combining those like so. Now, is this a nice singular colored block? Nope, that one still has lines in it as well. And then I think you left shift plus scroll. It says left shift plus scroll to cycle. But left shift plus scroll, it might actually be because of the mouse tweaks. Like if we go, or maybe it's, I think it's actually inventory tweaks that's mouse wheel. Ooh. Because if that's the case, man, I don't know. And there's nothing here for mouse tone. Let's do this. Change this. Reset. Man, I don't even know. Because if it's shift plus scroll, but scroll is bound to something else, like you can see here, if I go into this chest right here, and I use scroll wheel, it'll pull items out. And it seems like what's happening is I hold down shift and then I scroll and it does inventory tweaks. So I don't know if there's a workaround for that, honestly, which would actually stink because that would mean that like 80% of the blocks in this mod couldn't be used. Huh. Because basically the way this works is you make the type of block, right? Like this bit one, for example. You make that. Type 1. Oh, but you can just use a chisel. Oh, of course. How incredibly stupid of me to not realize that instantly. Okay, well that makes this a million times easier. Disregard. So let's go ahead and make a chisel. That means we need to make a diamond chisel, like so. And then we might as well make it into an eye chisel right away. There we go, thank you. And then you can just take this and go like so and choose the one. Oh, but these are all type 1. What if I don't want type 1? What if I want type 2? Because it appears... Huh. Okay. Well, all right, I need to figure out what's going on with this, guys. I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. I got it figured out. You got to hold it in your hand left shift, and then scroll. There we go. So that's how it works. So what we want to do is we want to find a couple of blocks because I want to make my proper base in this mod pack that's going to look a million times better than this house. And I want it to be very kind of modern-esque. So let's try, let's see what we can chisel here. Apparently it won't let me chisel these unless they're on 1. Yeah, you got to be on 1. Okay. So let's try, that's not gonna look great, I don't think. Yeah, it's gonna have the same texture. And basically what I don't want is these lines. I want it to be a smooth texture that blends together without making the lines extremely visible. So, I don't know what we would use for that. That one has like polka dots, kind of. This one here might work. This Vina. It looks like they're all the same color, though. They're all black. So, like, that'll take care of black for us, or like a dark color, but it doesn't do much for a lighter color. So, tell you what, let's go at Xtones. We'll go, let's just grab this Aegon here. That'll be fine. So if we look at this, that's all yellow stuff. Zest, tank, like so many of these, it's hard to tell because when you look at them here in JEI, they all look totally fine. It's when you look at them in other color, like when you look at them in chisel, they don't necessarily look fine, but then they don't, it's a little goofy. None of that stuff's gonna work, although this one might. Is that Zettel? They all have funky names too. So you'll have to forgive me. Let's chisel this. And let's just see. We've got like a nice... That might work. Still has lines. I don't... I see, the thing is I don't want the lines. Please no lines. You know... Maybe what we could do is just use vanilla concrete. It would work. I mean, we could make white concrete. I would need bone meal, and I would need a lot of bone meal. But that might be an option. And then we'll need to find a place as well to actually build this base, but I've got a couple ideas for that as well. I think it would be really cool. In fact, tell you what, I'll share my idea for this this base. I think what would be really cool is if we find like a mountain or a hill, right? Where would be a good place to find something like that? Maybe... This looks like a fairly hilly area up here, kind of to the northwest or so. We could kind of come over here and find like a large hill or a mountain or something like that. And then we would build kind of like a modern house that is partially built in to the mountain. Like maybe over, this probably isn't big enough. We'd have to find something bigger than this. But it would be like kind of sticking out of the mountain. I don't know. I think it could be really, really cool if we do it right. And then it would give us as much space as we need because we'd have the actual house part. And then we'd also have room to build into the ground for all of like our technical stuff and things like that. So I think it could be really, really cool. And it could be a very fun base. And I don't build in modern very often. Like modern is not a style that I'm super comfortable with. So I think it would be cool to kind of practice our modern. You know, it's not a style we do very well, and it's a style that has the necessary blocks in this pack to kind of make it work, so I think that's what we're going to do. But anyway, guys, unfortunately, I am out of time for this episode. So I'm going to have to call this one. My friends, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.